Hi, so my name is James. We're here on the Ford stand at Mobile World Congress 2017. This year Ford are talking about the cities of the future, and we are exhibiting 3 different things today, and they're in fact all examples of last mile mobility solutions that came out of an internal competition that we had at Ford, where Ford asked all of the employees globally to come up with ideas for vehicles where a traditional Ford vehicle is either not permitted or not practical to use. So the device you see here is called Tricity. Tricity is a tricycle for the city that is electric. It's a device that can be configured for a number of different use cases. The first use case is a ride-on mode. So simply you have a saddle here where you sit. We would have some footrests here as well. And you would drive the device in this direction. There's a throttle control here, and that controls your speed. In this mode it will go up to 20 kilometers per hour. The steering for the device, you have 2 hub motors in the front wheels, and the handlebars are pressure sensing handlebars, so there is a strain gauge at the base of each of the handlebars, and it follows a similar logic to a push bike. So when you put force on the right hand, it would overspeed the right wheel, and then the entire device would steer left, and then the rear wheel is essentially a passive follower. So that's the ride-on mode. The second configuration and the use case that we envisage this device for is a delivery use case. So the device would be docked in the rear of a Ford delivery vehicle. The delivery person would drive as close as they could for the delivery that they're going to make, and then they would undock this from the back of their vehicle. They can now operate it in the provide mode, so the saddle converts into a load platform, whereby a parcel or an Amazon delivery box or a crate or shopping or whatever can be placed. You can flick the switch on the throttle control here, and there's a bi-directional throttle. So now the device operates in this direction, and the top speed is reduced to 6 kilometers an hour. That means that it can be used in a pedestrianised area, on a sidewalk and so on. So now the delivery person is walking behind the device with their delivery parcel. It might be that their delivery is a much larger box, so you would be able to slide the delivery platform down the rear fork for a larger box or a larger package. The next stage to the story is that when the delivery guy gets to the bottom of the set of stairs, he still needs to get up a couple of flights of stairs. So this device can help him to do that. So here is the main hinge and latching system. This can be delatched, and then the front forks, both of the front forks rotate in line with the rear wheel. And then you end up with basically a powered barrow, which you can use to provide electrical assistance to carry the packages up a number of sets of stairs. Then, once the delivery's been made, the load deck converts back into a saddle, and it gets placed back in the ride-on position. The device can be ridden back to the delivery vehicle, and then finally docked back into the back of the van. The handlebars will rotate and lock in the folded position here, and then, as I demonstrated earlier, the front forks would rotate. There's a handle here, and that's what you would use to dock it in the back of the van and charge it. So this is the ride-on mode. This is the stair assistance, what we call the provide mode. And then the final mode is the hide mode, so that's about integrating either into the back of a delivery vehicle, or indeed, if you were using it as a personal use vehicle, you could take it onto public transport with you. Again, just a single slide there on the ride mode, top speed 20 kph. Anything above 20 kph in some regions or some markets, you need to classify the vehicle in a different way. And that means that you might have to get insurance or wear protective equipment, that kind of thing. So that's the reason for the 20 kilometer an hour limit. The range for the device is 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers at 20 kilometers an hour basically means that you have an hour's worth of full throttle travel. This is stair assistance, the provide mode. So you can see here you've got the load deck, and you can use it to ascend and descend stairs with a load of cargo. And then finally the hide mode for docking in the back of a car. The example that I provided earlier with the delivery, essentially we're solving this problem in here. So this is where we can currently get a Ford vehicle, and these are all the stages in between, the gap that this kind of device could take up. There's other opportunities. Here we show an example of how it could work in a sharing scheme. A map of the City of London, different locations for hubs. And of course all of this could be managed, for instance, through the Ford Pass app. So you could run the Ford Pass app on your phone, and that could tell you where the nearest hub with available vehicles could be. And you can imagine any wheeled device that currently on the market could be adapted for this kind of use case. So here we show an example of it being used within a supermarket, used as a baby stroller, used as a piece of sporting equipment, or even used at an airport. So maybe a non-folding version of this device could take the place of a traditional luggage trolley. So there we have it. So this is Tricity, 3 different modes: ride, provide and hide, and a couple of examples of how you could incorporate the device into the city landscape.